Good morning. Thank you for being here. I'm Ty Mooney. I'm the Executive Director of Sonoma County Alliance. Today we are missing our President, Paul Heumann, so I'm stepping in. You're going to see a lot of me. I apologize for that in advance. But thank you for being here so early in the morning to talk about Sonoma County and what's happening. Before we kick things off, I want to thank John Mills and Alejandra from Sun Ideas Media for filming today's event. Also to Cougar Brewery for the monthly beer donation that we'll raffle off after we do self-introductions. And Exchange Bank for sponsoring a table here of Latino leaders. Thank you, Exchange Bank. Thank you for being here. You are so welcome. And to my dear friend Herman, thank you for helping me coordinate this. As most of you know, we have our Baki for Books fundraiser coming up. It's this Saturday. This is an awesome opportunity to donate to kids in our area and to help enhance literacy for elementary school age kids. I'm going to let Lisa and Jill talk a little bit more about that. We're going to donate our funds this year to the Made in Santa Rosa Foundation. So I'll let them tell you a little bit about what that is. So I'd like to welcome up Jill and Lisa.
Well, good morning, everybody. Luckily, it's not 100 degrees out there yet this morning. Well, thank you in advance for your Bocce and Books event. And the book, we have a book vending machine program at our schools that we support, and that's what you are raising funds for. And we're really excited about that. And just so you can picture that, there's actually a picture right there. So that's what the vending machines look like, and the students are given tokens based on performance at school or kindness or however the school sets it up, and they get to go and choose a book out of the vending machine themselves, and it's theirs. They get to own it and take it home. And so we have 3 schools that we support in line to receive one of these this year, so we're really excited about that. Little background on the Made in Santa Rosa Education Foundation. We launched in early 2022. And we are about addressing the disparities in delivering enrichment education to some of our lower resource Santa Rosa City schools. We serve 6,000 students at 15 different K through 8 schools. And the student population that we serve is diverse and definitely has high level of percentages of socioeconomically disadvantaged and minority students. So the foundation's purpose is to provide funding for these enrichment programs, and we are doing that specifically not just by giving out funds, we're doing it through an equity lens. So we have a tiered system based on how many free and reduced lunch students are qualified at each school, and the higher percentage of that, the more grant money those schools receive. We support grants in 5 different categories: enrichment programs encompassing our elite early literacy program, which Lisa's going to talk a little bit more about, which you are supporting with your funding this year. Music, sports, arts, and culture, STEAM programs, gardens and campus beautification, school and student engagement, encouraging and embracing contributions to school culture, and classroom grants. And this part, I just really kind of want to go off the script a little bit and say that I've been an educator my entire career. I personally was made in Santa Rosa, so I love being a part of Made in Santa Rosa Education Foundation. We have a severe discrepancy in not just in Santa Rosa City schools, but in Santa Rosa and Sonoma County, in some haves and have-nots when it comes to public education. And enrichment opportunities for our youngest and younger students has a huge impact. There's just research all over the place that says the more enrichment opportunities that young students have, the better mental health, social development, and academic progress that they're going to have as they go through the schools. So if you're a student that hasn't been exposed to, let's say, music, arts, sports in elementary school, it is really hard to break into that when you get to middle school, high school, college, and beyond. When you're competing against people who have had those opportunities, either through school or outside in other, like club and other things like that. And so it will compound if you have early enrichment programs towards success. It will also compound towards major disadvantage if you don't have those opportunities early. And that's what Made in Santa Rosa Education Foundation is all about, supporting those opportunities for those students who do not have as much access to those programs. That's what we do. And community support from organizations such as yourselves is what we need to keep building this program and helping these children in our community. And to give you a little bit more information on that, I'm going to introduce our Executive Director, Lisa Alexander. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you for having us. So our foundation identified early literacy as an area where significant gaps are occurring, and we first became involved with the book vending machine program in our first year when Luther Burbank Elementary School applied for funding for the purchase of one, when the principal, who was new to the school, realized that parents were not able financially to afford to purchase books for their children. And she had heard that the program could significantly enhance literacy skills. Since then, the school just at the close of this last school year reported that their state reading scores have improved, and they contribute much of that to the book vending machine program. And thanks to the Alliance and our partner Kaiser Permanente, 2 more high-need schools have the book vending machines, and your Bocce for Books event this weekend hopefully will fully fund the purchase of the 3 final machines for the district. So the book vending machine program for our Santa Rosa School District is set up, as Jill said, as a reward system for students displaying positive character traits and good citizenship. And they receive tokens. They put their token in. They make their selection. You can see it's set up just like any vending machine that you would see. The books come out and, to the great delight and excitement of the students. What we hear from the schools are consistent. The students love the program. Literacy has indeed been enhanced. For English language learners, the program really helps to build their language skills, and the program has the added benefit of the encouragement of positive behavior. And part of our mission is to elevate student voice in all of the schools, invite student input on book titles and series that they would like to see in the machines. So the 3 schools that you be raising funds for at Bocce for Books have a combined average of 76 low-income students and 52% English language learners. So you're really making an invaluable investment in the positive educational outcomes for so many students for years to come. So thank you for your time, and thank you for choosing us, Made in Santa Rosa Education Foundation, for the Bocce for Books proceeds and those final 3 book vending machines. Thank you for your time.
All right, so if you haven't bought your tickets, please do. We have tickets available online. We've already provided a few book vending machines for kids, and you've heard the impact is great. We want to buy 3 more. So that's $18,000 we're trying to raise this year. Please join us. If you can't come, buy a ticket and bring our friends instead. We'd love to have you there supporting this event, supporting kids in our area. And thank you to our chairs for that committee, Mick Menendez and Jason Lee, who support that initiative year after year, and for Mike Martini, who hosts the event for us at Cash Street Wines. Thank you so much. While you're marking your calendars for that event this Saturday, please do make sure you remember our GMM on August 7th is extended. We are trying to get all 9 city managers here, and we are so close. So we are extending our program to make sure all of them have enough time to talk to us about what's happening in the cities. So mark your calendars August 7th to 9:30 a.m. And then September 4th, we have a great program. We've got District Attorney Carla Rodriguez joining us to talk about legislation that's going to be impacting businesses. And October 2nd, we've got Supervisor James Gore coming. He's going to talk really transparently about the water supply challenges we're having. And then November 6th, we always have Brian Sobel to come talk about the election. And December, you're just going to have to wait. But we've got great programs lined up, so please make sure you register in advance. Our community impact survey is still out, it's still live, and it's still important that we get your feedback. Whether you're a former member, a current member, a prospective member, your voice matters, and we want to make sure that we hear from you. As we look forward to our next 50 years, we want to make sure that we're doing our job and serving you well. So please fill out that survey. It's going to be live until we get the number that actually feels like we're getting a representation here. So please fill it out. The link for that is on our website as well. And then as a reminder, we switched the Q&A process last time, so we have cards and pens on the table. So as you have questions, please write them down, and Janet is going to help me collect them so we can make sure to get them to our speakers quickly. And questions that are not answered and you want them answered, please put your name on the back, and we'll make sure to follow up with speakers and email you after with that information. I'll remind you about this when we get closer to questions. And then with that, I'm going to ask Janet to help me with some self-introductions. As the mic comes around, please just stand up, introduce yourself and your business, and pass the mic along.
Good morning, my name is Janet Connors, and I'm at Summit State Bank.
Lisa Carino, United Way of the Wine Country.
Rebecca Hermosillo, Congressman Mike Thompson's office and Supervisor-elect.
Elliot Enriquez, the Petaluma Health Center.
George Udice, Vice Mayor, City of Roanoke Park.
Pedro Toledo, Petaluma Health Center.
Jaime Peña Herrera, Homestead in Newkirk.
Herman Hernandez, Hernandez Realty.
Oscar Chavez, Community Foundation, Sonoma County.
Samantha Rodriguez, Executive Director of the Great and Daily Labor Center, and Mayor Emeritus for the friendly City of Roanoke Park.
Thank you. And I should have mentioned that if you are a guest, please give me a business card for our drawing. I'll come back to this table for your business cards. So, you already met me, but Jill McCormick with Made in Santa Rosa Education Foundation.
Lisa Alexander, Made in Santa Rosa Ed Foundation.
Good morning, Mick Menendez, Pacific Advisors and co-chair of Watching for Books. Hopefully you can join us this Saturday.
Good morning, Chris Fiscalini with Comerica Bank.
Good morning, Dana Ghirardelli, Executive Director of the Sonoma County Farm Bureau.
Morning, Lisa Badenford, CEO of North Bay Association of Realtors.
Good morning, Lisa Wiki Schaffner, CEO of North Coast Builders Exchange.
Good morning, Peter Rumble. I have the pleasure of serving as the CEO of the Santa Rosa Metro Chamber of Commerce.
Good morning, Danny Sheehan and Friends with Smart, and I'm going to Watching for Books.
Dee Swarmheiser, Greenbelt Alliance, and I have a guest this morning, Ann Hamilton, our North Bay Resilience Manager. Woo!
Tony Alvarez, retired past president.
Ryan Bucksbaum, Next One Staffing.
Mike Robertson, Robertson Engineering.
Sherry Granzato, Exitos, Latino, Crush, and Bob Panther.
Melissa Galliani, Wine Country Radio.
Kelly Ray, Wine Country Radio.
Lisa Hinton, Executive Director in Assisted Living Industry, and also Scottsville City Council member.
Good morning, Dick Dowd, retired past president of the Alliance and currently the co-chair of the Water Supply Committee.
Good morning, Tara Butaro, owner of both Sonoma Coast Living and Bodega Bay and beyond.
Dan Condren, member of SCA GMM.
Jack Byrne, Navigate Inc., Executive Advisors.
Art Dexter, LeDuc and Dexter, and Super Service Corner.
Good morning, Greg Herb at BKF Engineers, and I like that Don Mills has given away a case of beer.
Ross Liscombe, Century 21, Epic Real Estate Broker.
Brian Lang, real estate broker at the foot of the master.
Eddie Ingram, Sonoma County Sheriff.
David Hagley, Summit State Bank, and Mayor of Healdsburg.
Good morning, Gary Lenz, Loan Depot Home Mortgage.
Harry Davidian, Digital Sensing and Control.
Joe Gaffney, St. Vincent de Paul.
Ariel Kelly, Councilmember, City of Healdsburg.
Chuck McPherson, Leap Solutions Group.
Arthur Cheney, President of the local nonprofit One is Black Men of Sonoma County. And by the way, if we still have any golfers that want to come out to the dinner, I have some flyers. We still have room for golfers and sponsors and dinner guests.
Tony Spizman, 707 Promotions.
Helen McGuire, Epic Real Estate, Life and Health Insurance.
Good morning, Trish Griffiths with the Personnel Perspective.
Kelly Back, Exchange Bank.
Giannis Bixon, Technical and Legal Services.
Roy Martinez, Exit Strategies Group and board member of PEP Housing, and I have a guest today. This is Leo McCarrion from Professional Computer Concepts at North Bay MSP, Managed Service Provider.
Good morning, my name is Jan Wilcherman with Schools Rules, Sonoma County.
Good morning, Julie Dempsey, Realtor with Vanguard Properties.
Ryan Hong with Data Instincts, Public Outreach Consultancy, and City of Itati Planning Commission.
Ryan Hughes, accountant with BPM.
Thank you.
Justin Hunter, Holly Construction.
Samantha Paul, Samantha Planning Consulting.
Good morning, Madeline Keegan O'Connell, the YWCA.
Rob Sandville, KLH Consulting.
Carly Rodriguez, Midstate Construction.
Mark Nelson, Mid-State Construction.
Howard Dalton, Advisory Board for Exchange Bank, and I've got a guest this morning. My pleasure to introduce Kevin Bender. Kevin is recently joined the bank a number of months ago. He's our Chief Banking Officer, and better than that, he just completed his relocation from the Sacramento-Roseville area to beautiful Sonoma County.
Kathy Goodacre, Career Technical Education Foundation.
Thank you.
Steve Click, Bauer Associates. Drew Pagent, ZFA Structural Engineers.
Rick Carlisle, BKF Engineers.
Muscular engineers, we're full of it here.
Good morning, Heather Thurber, real estate broker and owner of Redwood Empire Realty.
Larkin O'Leary, Common Ground Society.
Bella Martinez, Common Ground Society.
Good morning, Andre Moran with Brelchi and Reyes Consulting Engineers.
Kevin Zuko, ZFA Structural Engineers.
Starting a new company over there.
Scott Kincaid, Facility Development Company and Sonoma County Alliance Political Action Committee Chairman.
Marlene Soyland, Soyland Management. Tia Peterson, ZFA Structural Engineers.
Teresa Scott with Western Health Advantage. Alma Galvan with the Better Business Bureau.
I'm Yulia Satan. I'm an architect at the Sonoma County Public Infrastructure.
Good morning, Kevin Jones from Fast Signs of Santa Rosa.
Morning, Todd Mendoza, W Real Estate.
Thank you.
Good morning, Marcel Agnes with BC Engineering Group.
Morning, Linda Bone, Summit State Bank.
Allie Spitzer, Exchange Bank.
Maximilian Bushman, Community Matters.
Gwyneth Shears, Community Matters.
Good morning, Seth Mays, GMH Builders.
Ashley Diaz, GMH Builders.
Tiffany Godby here, GMH Builders.
Doug Marshall, also GMH Builders.
Ernest Berghoff, not of GMH Builders, but broker and CEO of Berghoff Realty.
Thank you.
Ryan Stiles, Engel and Volkers Real Estate.
Good morning, Ken LaFranchi, Architect. Good morning, Jeff O'Crafty, George Peterson Insurance and Santa Rosa City Council.
Kurt Nichols, retired past president.
Art Dyke, Environmental Pollution Solutions.
Bill Bolster, electro-optical components.
Morning, Aaron Smith with Adobe Associates.
Oh, gosh dang it.
John Middles.
Sound Ideas Media. You have 2 gold medal winner beers up there for the winner today.
Thank you, John.
Not a case.
Brett Shields, CFA Structural Engineers.
Good morning, Tawny Tisconi, Tisconi Event and Management Solutions.
Good morning, Mike Pickens, Operating Engineers, Local 3.
Ryan Kelly, WSI Digital Marketing.
Good morning, William Miller, BC Engineering.
Good morning, Anthony Dean, Sonoma County Deputy Sheriff's Association.
Good morning, Miguel Andrade Marin, Golden State Lumber.
Mark Stapp, Sonoma State, Santa Rosa City Council.
Good morning, David Brown, Adobe Associates, Civil Engineers and Land Surveyors.
Thank you, everyone. Do you want to do the drawing time?
Oh man, I'm gonna cheat. It actually does look like I cheated, George. Yeah. All right. George's my godfather, so I guess I'm coming over. Yeah, that's funny. All right. Without further ado, guys, we're going to get to this fantastic program. We've got leaders with us today from the Santa Rosa Metro Chamber, from North Coast Business Exchange, from Sonoma County Farm Bureau, and from the North Bay Association of Realtors. I'm really excited to bring to you a panel about the consortium. The Sonoma County Business and Agriculture Consortium was established 32 years ago to enhance collaboration among business organizations within the county. Initially, it served as a peer group for executive staff members to focus on practical issues, such as preventing scheduling conflicts, sharing operational best practices, and dealing with challenging volunteers. And since then, in the early 2000s, the group recognized a growing need to elevate the business interests and policy decisions in our county, and they have shifted their focus and added that to the long list of ways they collaborate. The Evolved Group is comprised of CEOs and executive directors from prominent organizations, including North Coast Builders Exchange, North Bay Association of Realtors, Santa Rosa Metro Chamber, the Sonoma County Alliance, the Sonoma County Farm Bureau, Engineering and Contractors Association, and North Bay Leadership Council. Collectively, these leaders advocate for interests of thousands of employees and their families across Sonoma County through their member-based organizations. Although John Bly, ECA, and Joanne Weber at NBLC aren't able to attend, we do have a great panel today, and I'm excited to introduce our first speaker to kick us off. A dedicated and longtime sustaining member of Sonoma County Alliance, Lisa Badenfort. Lisa has served in staff leadership with North Bay Association of Realtors since 2017. First as a public affairs director and then CEO starting in 2023, January. She established the association's first government affairs program, enhancing advocacy for housing and home ownership through public engagement, policy development, and campaign advocacy. Before joining the Realtors, Lisa built extensive public sector experience, including roles as a program director for Ag and Food System Initiatives, State Senate and Assembly legislative staffer, service provider, consultant, board member, and volunteer. Originally from Ukiah, Lisa has lived in Sonoma County since 2002, and she holds a Master in Public Administration, residing in Santa Rosa with her husband, Ken. Please help me welcome Lisa.
Voting for this height. Can I get this mic out by chance? Yeah. Fantastic. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. There we go. All right. Good morning, everyone. You'll excuse me really quickly. I'll just mention that I'm all recovered, but I'm still a little bit froggy this morning, so bear with me. I like to kind of show this slide because we have a huge region. We are a 501c6 organization. We do have a 501c3, but that's primarily for our charity activities. Our membership is over 3,000 members. About 95% are licensed brokers, agents, affiliates, many of whom are actually here in this room today. Our region covers 4 counties. We have 22 local governments, 10 state and federal representatives, and hundreds of special districts. We do have associations in coastal Mendocino and in Lake County, but for the most part, this is our territory. We cover it kind of as best as we can. Bottom line, we care about housing and home ownership. We care about that there's enough housing that people can afford to rent it and to buy it and to live in it and be secure in it. We care that our members are, sorry. There's more stuff down there. I'm going to ruin something down there, I know it. Homeownership remains a cornerstone of our economy. It's one of the most effective ways to build intergenerational wealth and build equity and stability in any community. We represent the interest of our current and prospective homeowners and our members through nonpartisan and realtor-focused advocacy. How do we do it? We do it kind of in 2 buckets. We can think of it as internal affairs and external affairs, member services, and public affairs. Essentially, we care about helping members do what they do well through education, training, sharing business tools and resources, helping members ensure that their licensing is intact and their membership and compliance is intact. There's so many things that they have to do during the year, so many things. And we want to be a good container for helping them stay on track. Throughout the year, we host hundreds of networking meetings, marketing meetings, broker tours, and events to help them be able to work with each other, sort of in forums like this. But on the public affairs front, we have to have a strong and stable housing economy to thrive in. And so that's where our public engagement comes in areas like, in events like this. We're proud members of the Sonoma County Alliance and many other organizations, Sonoma County Farm Bureau. We do community involvement as much as we possibly can. We have a very small team of 6. We have board of directors, 14 committees, and we can't get it done without our member volunteers. There's many of them here. I tried to count. I think there's about 12 of them here today, but I'm sorry if I missed any of them. We do advocacy, hopefully in the policy development phase, but really we look at issues, ballot measures, and we do direct campaign advocacy. I would imagine that most people in this room, if you looked at this picture for long enough, we could all probably pick out, 100 different regulations, 100 different organizations that are regulating everything from the slope of that driveway to the subdivision map, to the water main, to how much that house costs. And it all matters, and it all comes through state, local, national governments, and special districts. We try and do advocacy on what is proposed, those issues that are coming before local governments. There's a lot of monitoring that we do. There's a lot of committees that we work with. We act as a resource, both for our own members and for our leadership, but for the public as well, for organizations such as this. We ideally work in the policy development phase. We submit long, lengthy, wonky letters on well ordinances and septic ordinances and rental housing ordinances to really try and be a resource to those that are making decisions from the dais. Several of them were in this room today as well. We do actually end up doing direct advocacy sometimes where you'll see 40 realtors sitting in a meeting to kind of share their experience, to share what their perspective is, and how we can keep housing affordable and available. That's the bottom line goal. We also do advocacy on who decides those policies through campaign support. I'm not going to go through all of these, but it was hard to kind of section them off on what have we done and what's upcoming. I was asked to kind of go through those. Some of these are zombie issues, and some of these are issues that we've worked on for 10 years, and way before I even got here. And some of them will crop up in one jurisdiction and then crop up in another. And so I think we're mostly known for our rental housing advocacy. Excuse me, my apology. But we do spend a lot of time on land use because, frankly, we care about what is outside of the house as well. Everything, how do we protect public and environmental health while also making sure that regulations on property are judicious and don't create new and unnecessary burdens on the homeowner. Just one little example, as I was going through the vegetation management and defensible space, everything that happened after our fires, essentially we saw proposals that both mandated the removal of trees and banned the removal of that same tree. So we were grateful to be a part of it, to be able to show up, provide expertise, and get some of those ordinances changed so that there could be some more clarity. That's the end, but I just wanted to mention, I was asked to kind of touch on why do we participate in a consortium. I've been a grateful attendee for about 8 years since I got here. We have shared issues. Every single thing that I just went through is a systemic issue and is a shared issue. A housing economy is part of a workforce development need, is a part of meeting ag and food systems to be healthy in our economy. So even though our boards and our missions are our priority, where our priorities align, we're better together. So thanks for having me.
You can sit up if you want. All right, thank you, Lisa. Our next speaker is the man that runs the Santa Rosa Metro Chamber, Mr. Peter Rumble. Since joining the chamber, he's focused on initiatives to bolster the regional economy, including forming a loan pool for affordable housing, there's that overlap we're talking about, expanding private sector investments in childcare, reintroducing a small business incubator, and installing cultural events in downtown Santa Rosa. Before the chamber, Peter worked as a deputy county administrator in Sonoma County, where he coordinated strategic planning, developed community engagement and health policy divisions, and led recovery efforts following the 2017 Sonoma complex fires. His career also includes founding a clean energy company and policy research roles for the San Francisco Board of Supervisors and Illinois' Governor's Office. Peter's involved in local nonprofits like Gen H and the Santa Rosa Fire Foundation. And please help me welcome Peter Rumble.
All right, well, good morning. Wonderful to see everybody. I want to start by thanking Sheriff Ingram for not having sheriffs along the route here. I was a little late in speeding. I'll thank Chief Cregan too, sometime today. I also want to make sure I recognize we have a few chamber board members. I think that I've got them all through introductions. Lisa, of course, my board chair is here. Hector, Todd, Allie, thank you very much for your service on the chamber board. And if you don't like anything that I've got to say, talk to them later. We can avoid that unpleasant conversation. I wanted to give a little bit of an overview of what we're doing at the chamber, and then just as Lisa sort of set the mark, talk a little bit about the consortium and why we're engaged. I think it's important to cover what we're doing at the Santa Rosa Chamber because I'm still a little bit surprised by how what we are doing is surprising to others when they hear it. Right? Been at it for about 7 years now and pushing out as much information as we can about our efforts, but still it's an ongoing task to help inform our members in the community about what we're doing. So I think it's very important in this conversation to start with the foundation of the chamber after the 1906 earthquake. Exchange Banks in the House. Frank Doyle was one of the founding members of the chamber. to help the community rebuild. And helping the community is, I think, one of the key threads that connects the chamber from its founding to what it is today. And over the last 7 years, it's not necessarily a reestablishment of that connection, but certainly a strengthening of that connection. So some examples of that are the Golden Gate Bridge, right? The chamber and Frank Doyle were heavily engaged in that. Setting aside land for the junior college, setting aside land for the community hospital, working on SMART in the early days. Right? These are all examples of how the chamber goes beyond what all chambers do and what we do too. Put on mixers, do education training events. We're engaged on advocacy, small business support. Every chamber does that, and we do that. And I believe we do so much more. So what are those things that we're engaged in? So as was mentioned in the bio, we have an affordable housing loan pool, the Sonoma County Housing Fund. Oscar, thank you so much for investing in that from the Community Foundation. I didn't hear that Kaiser was in the room, but thank them, please, if you get a chance to talk to Elaine or anybody else. That is the only affordable housing loan pool at a Chamber of Commerce in the country. Just let that one sink in. I'm still amazed, but I've asked the U.S. Chamber if they've heard anything like it. They have not. It's a partnership with Housing Trust Silicon Valley. Over the last 3 years, we've invested in 7 affordable housing projects. They're all infill development, so we're not pushing out into or beyond our urban growth boundaries, and really focusing on maximizing. Okay, my time's up. Thanks. Maximizing the value of our urban core. We have one project, and it's countywide. We have one project in Sonoma Valley that's for low-income seniors. We have a project in Windsor. We've got a couple projects in Petaluma. We've got the rest of the projects in Santa Rosa. It's a partnership with Housing Trust Silicon Valley. That partnership leverages around $4 to every $1 that we invest locally. So it's not only investing local dollars in affordable housing, it's bringing in Chan Zuckerberg money, Google money, money from the Silicon Valley into our community to support local jobs in the construction industry, and of course supporting local individuals and families to be able to afford living here. So that's one thing that we're doing that sets us apart from other chambers. Our other efforts are around education and childcare. Some of you are probably participants, hosts in the Mike Alger Academy. We just graduated our most recent class of kids. These are kids entering high school, primarily kids who receive free and reduced lunch, primarily English as a second language kids. We are providing many weeks in the summer around the STEM fields, right? So we are bringing kids out to work sites. They get to meet the employers, the people working in those careers. They get to understand how subjects within the STEM fields relates to what can actually be applied in the real world. We pay for teachers, we pay for transportation, we pay for food to make that happen. And then we graduate these kids at Sonoma State. Mr. Stack, thank you so much for helping to coordinate that. At that graduation, they also get a tour of the campus and get to meet professors at Sonoma State. So really exposing them to possibilities that some of them weren't thinking of before. And just some proof in the pudding. Kids who are participating in this program graduate high school at greater rates than their peers, enter either college or some type of post-secondary education training at greater rates than their peers, and they come back to the community to work here. We have wonderful success stories, kids who never thought that they would go to college, become literally rocket engineers, and then come back and work in the community. So that's just one piece of our education work. We have just are blessed with a fantastic team. Ananda Sweet, if you've not run into her, she is incredible. She also is just back from an invitation from the White House to talk about our work in childcare and expanding childcare, bringing private sector investment into childcare. I didn't hear the Keysight was in the room, but God bless Keysight. They are investing in a childcare facility for their employees and also reserving spots for the community on their campus. Cornerstone Development, God bless Cornerstone Development. If you don't know Alone or Pauline, thank them. In their housing development that they are planning for downtown, they're including the bottom floor as a child care center, as an amenity for their residents, but also, again, reserving slots for the community. And that's not because of us, but we are certainly facilitating that, providing resources in the path for that kind of investment. Another piece on education. We have a family-friendly and what we call WHEEL, which is an unwieldy acronym because it doesn't really represent what the work is. We are providing resources to employers to become more family-friendly, to become a more attractive workplace. Again, not a prescription, but a menu of things that employers can do to again, become a more family-friendly workplace. We're also providing English language education on employer site. That's available to any member. There's a cost associated with it, but we bring the educators on site to help workforces understand and learn English. And I will say that it helps at the job. It also transforms people's lives, right? We've had testimonials from people participating in that program that have said, listen, I can now call the doctor's office and schedule an appointment for my child. I can now engage in my child's education in a more meaningful way because I can speak with their teachers, speak with the school administration. So that's another piece of our education. We mentioned the small business incubator in the bio. That's the Small Business Development Center. For many years that was housed in Napa, serving Sonoma County. Love Napa, it is not Sonoma County, right? So we brought the Small Business Development Center back to Sonoma County, serving exclusively Sonoma County. That is a free resource available to anyone who wants to start a business, regardless of membership in the chamber. They need help starting a business, they get paired with an advisor, essentially a consultant in any area of need that they have. So business planning, financial planning, strategic planning, access to capital, on and on. We are creating that program with both cultural and language competency as well, because we know through the data, this is just a fact, if we invest in our BIPOC, LGBTQI, women-owned small business community, we will get a better return and a better growth in our economy overall. Downtown. So we are the host of the Downtown Action Organization. So all of the events that you see going on at Courthouse Square, we have some role in that, either coordinating, making sure that the electric gets turned on, helping to shut down the streets, or directly delivering the program. So Monday nights, if you want to come out and watch a movie, that's something that we're doing. We're making those family friendly. We're getting hundreds of people coming out and sitting on the lawn watching a movie. We do, and thank you to all of our sponsors for these programs. We receive some support from the city, about $100,000 to do this. We go out and raise about $500,000 in the community every year to put on these events. Our skating rink during the winter time is another example of that. We had just a fantastic event that we supported, did not put on this last weekend as well. Press Democrat, thank you if you're here for running a story on that. We also hire a team of people to interact with our homeless population downtown, to provide beautification services, to pick up trash, take care of graffiti, and just be ambassadors for folks who are looking for a restaurant recommendation. The final thing that I'll mention is our destination marketing arm. We house Visit Santa Rosa. We work in partnership with Sonoma County Tourism to really focus on promoting Santa Rosa as a destination for tourism. And we do a hell of a job at it. despite what a council member might have said in budget hearings last night. It was not Mark or Jeff. So I'll talk about the consortium and why we're engaged there in 10 seconds. I just wanted to say that it's been a real honor and a blessing for me to be able to work at the Chamber for the last 7 years and to either bolster these programs, and Mike Hauser Academy preceded me, but to create these programs. And I want to thank the board for giving me the runway to do that. And I want to thank the community for embracing these programs for sure. It's truly been an honor. And I also want to say that it's not just something that has interested me. It reflects our member and our community desires. Right? So we surveyed our members. The top 3 issues are, and asked 2 questions. What's most important to you in the community? What's the most important to your business? Okay. So housing, education, childcare, and downtown are the top 3 priorities for what's important to me and my community. Top 3 for what's important to my business: housing, education, childcare, and advocacy. So we have members of our advocacy committee here. We meet twice a month and coordinate our position. We have a legislative platform that we work both locally as well as the state. And that kind of gets me to the consortium. I will say that what I get out of the consortium might be a little bit different than other members. This is a damn lonely job. And if you're the head of your business, you understand what I'm talking about. So meeting every now and again with people who are in a similar position and just having some peer support is a pretty big deal. So that's number 1, what I get out of this group is just that peer support and being able to say, oh my God, can you believe what so-and-so council member said about our funding last night? Or we say, oh my God, can you believe that Measure J is on the ballot? Vote no on J. So we have that moment to talk and support each other. And the other benefit that I get is just sharing information. Who's going to take the lead on something? You know what, Davenport, you've been on this well thing for the last 15 years. Like, what do you need on that one? We're not going to take the lead. You're going to take the lead. We got some construction issues, workforce development. North Coast Village Exchange does amazing things for kids and getting them in the trades. What are we going to do to support that, right? And then I get to raise my hand and say, oh my God, I've got something, I need some help. So for me, I know that sometimes when groups meet, and they're not public meetings, that it can feel like, what's going on in this cabal? What kind of designs are being, cooked up to rule the world? My goodness, I wish I had the power to rule the world. In most cases, at least from my perspective, again, it's just meeting with people and talking about our issues and trying to work it through together. So, thank you all. I appreciate your time.
All right, thank you, Peter. Our next speaker is another longtime sustaining member, Lisa Whitty-Schaffner. She's also a current board member and the former CEO of Sonoma County Lions, so my predecessor. Lisa is a woman who wears many hats. She has been the CEO of North Coast Villages Exchange since January 2022, providing member services, advocacy, workforce development to construction-related firms in Sonoma, Mendocino, Lake, and Napa counties. And in addition to her work with NCBE, Lisa serves on the board of Redwood Credit Union as a member of the California Stewardship Network. She sits on the boards of Sonoma County Fair, Sonoma County Grape Growers Foundation, Sonoma County Alliance, and is the board chair of Santa Rosa Metro Chamber. Lisa also has served as an elected official for the city of Healdsburg, where she grew up, and on the Sonoma County Board of Education. She's a proud mother of 2 amazing young adults and 2 adorable grandchildren. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Ms. Lisa.
Crazier than sitting there and someone reading your bio, right? So I am the only retread in the building, and I say that because I grew up in a tire company, so I can say retread. I sat here on the consortium when I was with the Sonoma County Alliance, and then 2 years ago got to come back to the consortium, back to the information I found so valuable when I took the job at NCBE. So I want to talk about NCBE and the consortium, but I have to just shout out, because he's in the room. In early 2004, I got a call from our friend Greg Hurd, who's sitting right there, and I remember thinking, he said, hey, the Sonoma County Alliance has an opening for the CEO job, would you be interested? And at that point, I was a stay-at-home mom on the Hillsburg City Council and was like, I'm interested. Because in 2000, I just have to put a plug in for the Alliance, because it is a place that I love and that I have always spent in any job I went to, coming back here to get the information that I needed, right? So in 2000, I interviewed with the Sonoma County Alliance and the consortium partners to run for city council. And I remember walking away from that building thinking, oh yeah, these groups are the one, as a city councilman person, I'm staying close to, because whether I agree with them every day or not, there's an expert on water, there's an expert on roads, they're running small businesses, right? So I remember thinking, I'm going to stay close to that group on city council. So 4 years later, when I got the call and they said, would you be interested in being our, I can't remember if I was executive director, whatever they called it, CEO, I don't care. Back then, I remember thinking, oh yeah, this is exactly what I want to do right now. So I spent 7 years here and only walked away because Peter, that was perfect setup. What he said about the survey and what small business needs and housing and education, at that time, I felt like everything I did here at the Alliance came back to kids need CTE, kids need more education, kids need different things to do except for college. So when John Jordan approached me and said, hey, I got a bunch of money, do you want to give it away? I said, oh, I can do that. And so I did that for 9 years. But as I kept coming to the Alliance meetings over and over during my time at John Jordan Foundation, Peter just exactly said it, what I heard from teachers and parents and all the businesses we were working with and getting people to partner with us at John Jordan Foundation, what kept happening was people kept saying housing. Housing, we don't have housing for our staff, right? We're not building enough, we don't have housing. I don't know what I'm gonna do, we don't have housing. So those things get in my head, and so when I got the call around my predecessor retired from North Coast Builders Exchange, I was like, housing, I think that's my next step. And so that is how I got here 2 years ago into an organization that is 70 years old this year. The North Coast Builders Exchange has been doing this work a long time before me, but I'm even more excited now because a few things. We need housing. And let me tell you, I know I think there's 4 cities represented with the city councils here, all kinds of housing. I know that people say affordable housing, but in order to have a sustainable community, we need all kinds of housing. So workers and companies can come in at whatever level they need to buy a home and make sure that our budgets of our city councils go up because there's housing and workers here and business stays. So that was my poll on being here. The North Coast Builders Exchange is a 4-county agency, and in case you haven't noticed, Sonoma, Napa, Lake, and Mendo are very different. The fact that they neighbor each other is amazing to me, right? The needs in every single one of those counties is very, very different. So I am very much driving my truck around trying to figure out what this community needs, how to work with this community, who are the industry partners. And by the way, if you're an industry partner with construction and you said your name, I did look you up, and if you're not a member, I know. And so I'll be back, right? So we have 900 members in those 4 counties, and I feel very strongly that it's not just construction, right? We have banks. I know Janet's right here from Summit State Bank. We have a restaurant that just joined because they were so frustrated getting their permit to do their TIs that they just joined, right? We've got, of course, the building industry people, the engineers. This is an organization that believes that in order to have any kind of budgets at the cities, at the county, we have to have construction workers. So NCBE does 3 things, and I say it all the time. We do workforce development, member services, and advocacy. And I also know lots of business people don't want people to do politics. So we use the word advocacy. The fact is, it's politics, right? And you can say you don't want to do it in your business, and that is exactly why we need business organizations. That's exactly why we need to work together. I don't believe the business community, my fault, I'm turning this back to me, works together very well all the time. You don't see us always showing up at city council meetings, right? We elect these great city council people, expect that they're going to do a great job, and then we're not in the room for them when they have to make a decision, right? There's 80 people from the other side of an issue on, and it's very, very hard, and I can say, because I did it, as a city council person, if we're not showing up as business, shake your head and agree with me, Samantha, say, yes, you're right. If we're not showing up as business to support them in decisions they're making, that is very, very difficult. So I believe these business organizations and our work together in the consortium is so very important. The Builders Exchange, I said they do member services, so we do everything from big news. You were the first organization I spoke to, I'm telling this to. As of July 1, we do everything from helping someone get their contractor's license. On July 1, we brought in a new contractor's licensing school to the Builders Exchange because 2 years ago when I got here, I was like, that's our gap, right? We help high school students get into the trades. We get them jobs through our North Bay Construction Corridor workforce program. So that's great, we get workers in, right? We do teachers grants for teachers who want to do construction, all the CTE teachers, and we do scholarships for people wanting to go to construction. But what happens when that person that's working through their way of the trade wants to get their contractor's license? That was our gap. So we brought in a school on July 1. So that's our workforce development, and shout out to Midstate back there. They took one of our North Bay construction interns that was graduating from our program, our 8-week program, and they just hired them. So thank you very much to Midstate Construction. That is the kind of work we love. We graduated for the first time in Sonoma County 80 kids 2 Friday nights ago. It makes me, I'm super happy. Those 80 families, these 80 kids, not all of them knew what they were going to do when they graduated, and they graduated 2 weeks before. So then we put them through a program their last semester of high school and got, I think, 12 are hired right now. We're helping another 20. Several are on their way to the JC. Some are on their way to college, which construction management, whatever they want to do. Oscar attended the graduation, and I can share with you that is my favorite day of the year. When you see 80 young people finding a place for themselves, leaving high school and hopefully staying in Sonoma County, right? That is big news. So, and our commitment to these young people is that we will help them no matter what they do, and in 2 years, they want to make a job change, they've decided they want to come back to construction, and we are there for them. As far as member services, you walk in our door and we're going to get you your training, your CPR, your OSHA, we've got health insurance, bonding. Thank you to George Peters Insurance, Jeff and the gang over there. We do all of that insurance type stuff because here's one of the things that you know, but I had to think about it when I took the job. When you want to build a house or cabinets and you're a creative artist or you just want to be an engineer, the last thing you want to do is worried about your certifications, getting your seminars. We want to get that information out to the industry because it's really, really important that they, right now as of July 1, you have to have a workplace violence program. There's not a lot of our small construction companies that really know how to put together a workplace violence program. Right, and that is not making fun of them. That is, who wants to do that? You're busy, right? You've got your employees and you just want to do your work. So we're trying to provide that information for them. Advocacy is daily, right? That's the third leg of our stool. We do it daily. We talk to city councils. We talk to the board of supervisors. That's important to us, but we only do it with our partners. So I feel very strongly that that work we do at NCBE is something that is vital to the community, and we want people to be members and get the information. We actually send out a newsletter every Monday that used to be 50-page PDF when I got there. 50-page PDF. That is not a 50-page PDF anymore. I had to make that change. I know it sounded great, and there's people, and I'm sure I'll get some feedback, that they like the 50-page PDF. That is not sustainable for a small team. So now we send out a newsletter, and there's lots of digital links, which makes some people happy and some people not happy, but we're getting the information out there, and it's important that you're hearing it. The last thing about NCBE that I feel strongly that I ask my consortium partners to share too is that the industry of construction in general does not tell a really great story about themselves because they're busy. But it is an industry that supports this community that is truly built. Now, I use that word in so many ways, built this community. Go to a Little League game and check out the banners on the fences. That is a lot of construction and engineers and small businesses that are supporting the sports and the nonprofits and that. And they also don't share the story that they are employing so many good people. And it is a sustainable lifestyle, it's a good world, and this is a quality way of life. So I am on a mission to tell our story and that people understand that construction is such an important industry. So I think those are my things. That was a lot, but there you go.
All right, hopefully you guys are all learning something today. Okay, before I introduce our last speaker, I want to remind you that there are question cards on the table. Please be sure to write down any questions you might have, so as soon as Q&A happens, we can hop right in. I see them already happening. We're going to come and circle and grab them at the end of our next speaker's presentation. So with that, I want to welcome up the Executive Director of Sonoma County Farm Bureau, Dana Uridelli. Dana brings a lifetime of agricultural experience and passion for her role. She was raised on a family dairy farm in Petaluma, California. I know we have some Petalumians here. Her upbringing instills a deep understanding of the agricultural industry's challenges and demands. A graduate of Chico State with a degree in animal industry, Dana combines knowledge of animal science with agricultural business. Her career began at the University of California Cooperative Extension, where she focused on environmental regulations and compliance for dairy farms. Dana later transitioned to consulting, helping dairy farms with water quality permits and organic transitions, and spent 12 years in producer relations at Clover Sonoma. In 2020, she joined the California Milk Advisory Board as Director of Producer Relations before taking on her current role at the Sonoma County Farm Bureau in 2022. At the Farm Bureau, Dana advocates vigorously against regulatory measures that threaten local agriculture, such as Sonoma County's Measure J, which poses significant challenges to family farmers. Her leadership is driven by a commitment to protect the rural landscape, local agriculture, and fruit production, crucial to the community's livelihood. Please help me welcome Dana Uridelli.
Man, I don't even know where to start. First, I didn't write that bio, so thank you for that very much, Ty. And second, I feel like I'm going to be Charlie Brown's teacher after Lisa gets up here with all of her excitement. I'm just going to be like, toning it down. Nonetheless, I appreciate the opportunity to visit with all of you today. I have been with the Sonoma County Farm Bureau. It'll be only 2 years this August. In many ways, I feel super new still a lot to learn, and leading on the consortium, and all of you that I connect with on a daily basis, monthly basis, to really learn about how I can evolve in my job and how I can help the Farm Bureau monthly basis, to really learn about how I can evolve in my job and how I can help the Farm Bureau evolve within Sonoma County. But just to kind of monthly basis, to really learn about how I can evolve in my job and how I can help the Farm Bureau evolve within Sonoma County. But just to kind of set a stage, so Sonoma County monthly basis, monthly basis, monthly basis, monthly basis, monthly basis, to really learn about how I can evolve in my job and how I can help the Farm Bureau evolve within Sonoma County. But just to kind of set a stage, so Sonoma County basis, monthly basis, to really learn about how I can evolve in my job and how I can help the Farm Bureau evolve within Sonoma County. But just to kind of set a stage, so Sonoma County Farm Bureau is a membership organization, and we have multiple levels of membership. Of course, right away everybody says, it's a farming organization, of course, right? We are promoting, protecting, advocating for agriculture, farming. We're advocating for rural life basis, monthly basis, to really learn about how I can evolve in my job and how I can help the Farm Bureau evolve within Sonoma County. But just to kind of set a stage, so Sonoma County Farm Bureau is a membership organization, and we have multiple levels of membership. Of course, right away everybody says, it's a farming organization, of course, right? We are promoting, protecting, advocating for agriculture, farming. We're advocating for rural lifestyles. There's people that live in rural Sonoma County that aren't farming, or they might be doing it on the side or casually, but nonetheless, we're still working with our partners with on-site wastewater system plans and tree ordinances and well ordinances. And so all of those things don't just touch farmers, they touch all of Sonoma County. So our membership is, it's a little over 2,000 folks, and like I said, we have ag members, we have what we call associate members, and we have collegiate members, so allowing our college students who are maybe away at school or even here locally to participate in Farm Bureau as members and get the information. But the associate membership is really important because all of you are affected by Sonoma County agriculture. So it's a way for you to become a member of Sonoma County without actually being in agriculture, saying that you are reaping your income directly from agriculture. You can still be part of Farm Bureau and understand what the challenges are in the county, what's great in the county for agriculture, what's important for keeping Sonoma County what it is as it's surrounded by agriculture. And I say this not to discount all the others, but in my estimation, I really feel like our diverse agriculture really helps create what Sonoma County is. And I say that not discounting, again, the fact that all of you play a tremendous role in what Sonoma County is. I'm well aware of that, and I think we all are. But to be able to look at our diverse county, the rolling hills, the cows, the grapes, the goats, the vegetables, right? Go on and on. The open space is tremendous, and our terrain here is something to be proud of, and I think people are jealous of to a certain degree. Now I'm going to go there. So our membership, that's our core. Membership's important. Our membership is very affordable. So we need to supplement our income with events. So a lot of you attend our annual crab feed every year in February. It is a grand event. We're getting ready tomorrow to have our annual Love of the Land event at Sarah Lee's Vineyard in Richards Grove, now owned by Jackson Family Wines. They allow us to have that there every year, and it's a wonderful event to celebrate our heritage, celebrate agriculture, and just be able to award a few of our local industry folks for the good work that they do. So those are important for us to help supplement our income, if you will, to help us do what we do, which is advocate and educate and support Sonoma County agriculture. So I wanted to just read, anybody can do this anytime, so this is cheating, but I wanted to just read our vision, which is, we will work towards solutions of problems that are unique to farmers and ranchers and the rural community through being proactive and implementing organized action to benefit those engaged in various branches of agriculture. We will work for the improvement of conditions surrounding rural life and for the cultivation of such sentiments and ideals that promote neighborliness, citizenship, and community. We will work to communicate with all to provide information and education that fosters better understanding of the opportunities and challenges of delivering safe, nutritious, and affordable food. That last part is what sometimes I feel people forget, right? We talk about farming, we talk about agriculture, we talk about open space. We're talking about feeding people. We feed people. That's a big deal. So at Farm Bureau, we do all of the things that those that came before me up here talked about with the advocacy and educating. And so some of the things that we do in that regard, every year we have an Ag Day, Sonoma County Ag Days at the Sonoma County Fairgrounds. And prior to COVID, it was far more robust, but now it comes with its challenges for schools to be able to get there. But in the heyday, we saw up to 6,000 children between 2 days, where we just educated and integrated agriculture with students and parents and teachers alike. So we're still doing that every year. As an added activity, because we have nothing going on, we are doing a last-minute function called the Sonoma County Farm Fest, and we're actually hosting that next Sunday at Olympia's Valley Estate in True Rock. And it's basically just going to be a time for the Sonoma County community to come rub elbows with farmers, right? Just come check us out. Of course, there's a ballot measure that is kind of prodding us to be able to get out and offer this opportunity, but this is not a campaign effort. This is a time to connect with our ag community. It is limited to 1,000 folks, and we do ask people to RSVP, and forgive me, I should have brought something to put up on the slides, but you can go to our website or contact me if you're interested in going, but spread the word, really hoping to get people that are looking for something to do, don't really know much about agriculture, or never really been out on the farm. Come out. It's going to be from 11 to 4. It'll be a great day. We too offer trainings for our members, safety trainings, CPR, several employee and supervisor enhancement programs are offered throughout the year. We have several workshops, and one that's coming up that I invite you if you're interested. So while we're going to be talking about some on-farm security, we're also going to be talking about cybersecurity, which has become a huge threat for businesses in general. It doesn't matter if you're in agriculture or not. So on July 22nd, because again, we have nothing else going on, on July 22nd, at our office from 10 to 2, it's only $30 to attend. We'll be kind of doing a whole presentation on hardening your businesses with cybersecurity, and then obviously with on-farm security. The Sonoma County Sheriff's Office, the Rural Ag Crimes Task Force will be there to present. We're also bringing people in from other state and federal agencies to help put this program on. So in terms of issues, right, runs the gamut. We have our labor issues, water issues, regulations. Again, with the team, well ordinances, tree ordinances. We've spent a lot of time with the local coastal plan because that comes around quite a bit. And at the end of the day, it's about relationships. It's about talking, and it's okay not to agree all the time, but as long as we're all at the table having the conversations, that's how we're going to get to where we need to be to protect ourselves, to protect our communities. So it's really important that we're aware and we're participating in these conversations. This leads me to policy, and I can go on about policy, but of course, where am I going to go today? And that's Measure J. That's the greatest threat to, I think, our entire county, probably in our generation. We have people coming in with their personal interests into Sonoma County. While there are a few people that may live here that agree with the tenets of this measure, for the most part, it's being brought to us by people from out of town because they have personal interests and don't agree that animal agriculture of any kind should exist. And they feel that if they come to Sonoma County, if they get a stronghold here, they'll be able to take it far and wide. We are their guinea pig. One of the main reasons why they've chosen Sonoma County is not just because of our short distance to Berkeley where they come from, but also during Prop 12, Sonoma County voters, 60% of our voters voted yes for Prop 12. Prop 12, the farmers answered the call. Our whole market shifted when it comes to eggs, when it comes to chickens, when it comes to pork, everything shifted. Again, they answered the call, but it wasn't really the call that we needed. Was it really where we needed to go? There's been a lot of backlash because of that. So again, it's in the messaging. So they're bringing a message here to put fear in our residents here to hope that we can pass this measure. And what this measure is going to do is it's going to take multi-generational farms and families that have been here for over 100 years and force them out of business. It's going to be said that we're not forcing them, they just need to downsize. You guys are all business people. What happens when you have to downsize, be forced to downsize? You're at the size you're at for a reason. They're forced to downsize, they're going to go out. These farms go out of business. Other farms are going to trickle. Other businesses are going to trickle. Our feed stores, our tractor supply, all those ancillary businesses, insurance companies. Everybody's affected if this goes down. Jobs are going to be affected without question. We have to think about our food supply. We're a pretty tremendous food shed here. That's going to change. That will completely change not only just our food supply, but just think of our county. This is not just a farmer's issue, Measure J, this is a Sonoma County issue, this is a people issue, this is an issue for all of us. And we really need to just get out there, get the word out to vote no, and just don't be misled by their tactics. It really is a personal interest group that's pushing this on you, the voters and the residents of Sonoma County. I would be remiss if I didn't mention our foundation. I think all of us have a 501c3 that we support, and ours is really for not just the education about agriculture, but also to help elevate our youth in agriculture. We need succession, and farming isn't easy, and farming isn't glorious. The lifestyle is, the money isn't always glorious. So sometimes we see the kids watch their parents with their blood, sweat, and tears, and then they ask themselves, do I want to do that? And a lot of them are saying, nope, I don't want to do that. So we're losing farmers, right? Because it's getting harder. So our foundation does what we can to try and help promote these youth to continue in agriculture, to find that space that's going to keep agriculture and food production prominent, not only in Sonoma County, but in the state and in the nation. So just to touch quickly on the consortium, I was going to say I'm the freshman, but Joanne's not here. She's the freshman now, but I'm still learning the invaluable traits that the consortium brings to me as the executive director of the Sonoma County Farm Bureau. But if I just take a step back and look at it all, you know, this consortium allows for support, like the support that Peter brought up, and just kind of being able to be frank, but it really brings perspective. Because I don't live in their world with all the people that they're seeing, and vice versa. So we're able to share. So it brings us perspective to figure out how we coalesce and work together for the betterment of not only our industries and our people and our businesses, but within the county, because we all want to live here and make it thrive quite a bit, and it's just really fun to create these relationships. So I appreciate your time today, and vote no on Measure J. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm going to invite our speakers back up for a panel of Q&A. Can I get one more round of applause for them? Wonderful. And Janet is walking around picking up cue cards with questions on them. As a reminder, in case it doesn't get caught and you really want to answer, put your name on the back so I can email you. Thank you. All right, we got our first question. Wait, where's Paul when you need him? All right, so this first question, I believe is for you, Dina. With Measure J, what impact could it have on the junior livestock program with the solo fair auctions, or the SoCo fair auctions?
So I know what you meant, Sonoma County Fair Auction. So there's going to be a tremendous effect. I mean, our agricultural community is really what helps build upon that aspect of the fair, right? The livestock area, the auctions. You know, we have a lot of people here in the county that provide these animals to these young kids to be able to go through the auction. A lot of these businesses, ag businesses, so not just the farms, but all the ancillary businesses, there's a whole long host of local Sonoma County businesses that support that auction, which supports the youth in agriculture. And I will tell you, not just the youth in agriculture, that program allows children who may not have grown up or been in agriculture or may not even go into agriculture get a taste of growing food, of raising an animal and turning around and selling it to market. It's a pretty phenomenal program. So Measure J, if passed, will absolutely have a negative effect on the Sonoma County Fair Livestock Auction.
All right, this one is for Lisa Badenford. What is being done to protect small families from taxes of all kinds? Go.
That's a nice small question. Well, I would say that at its core, we are not an anti-tax organization by any means, but I would say that we are a judicious, useful tax organization. For ultimately, we have local governments that are having struggling budgets, and we put forward they put forward a sales tax, they put forward a property tax, a parcel tax, a real property transfer tax, all kinds of different taxes. And because we're not just wholly anti-tax, I think we take each one We take each one and we kind of take a look at, we don't jump in actually on all of them, but as they pertain to housing or the possibility to drive up the cost of housing for individuals, we most certainly pay attention to those. We most certainly approach elected officials and decision makers and talk about, is this the broadest base? Is this the right way to leverage tax dollars from the community? Is it going to backfire and make housing more expensive?
All right, Peter, this one's for you. These are all gonna be. All right, so on the Sears project, convention center or housing?
Yeah, I mean, 2 minutes or less is easy, yes. Yes. Right now, we've got an empty shell that's, you know, all love and respect to our partners at Simon. It's a blight in downtown. So housing in a market, awesome. Convention center, hotel, awesome. You can't go wrong on this one. I think that there are different economic benefits that are distinct to each. We need the housing for sure. And by the way, we've invested in 3 projects out of our housing pool on downtown housing. Yeah, so it's needed, but listen, convention center and a hotel, I will tell you, we lose business every week. Every week. Conferences are going to other parts of the state, other parts of the country, because we don't have the facilities large enough. We have some, but not large enough to host major conventions that, you know, going to Santa Cruz or Monterey or to, you know, Florida, for God's sake. Why don't you go there?
All right, Lisa Schaffner, this one's for you. What are the top 3 hurdles to housing development?
Top 3, permitting, oh, I'm sorry, different ones you want. I think permitting and cost of goods, I would say right now, those 2, and then staffing. I mean, and I can have our construction committee, I think, would agree with me that those 3 things ongoing. The staffing issue, I did mention it, and I just have to share because I'm kind of going away from the question, but I can feel my membership director chirping at me. We do also have a new women's group, so I do think when it comes to staffing, we have to be a more diverse workforce, and so the numbers are very small with women. So we have a new Empowering Women in Construction group that we're starting at North Coast Builder Exchange, and I just wanted to mention that because I think that that piece is really, really important, that everyone sees themselves in this industry.
Great, thank you. Peter, where is the Cornerstone project going to be built?
Yeah, so that's the the vacant surface parking lot that's right next to the Press Democrat building and in between Press Democrat building, or the former Press Democrat building, and Barrel Proof Lounge, right? Oh, okay, yeah. So I guess the hamburger mural, yeah, painted on the wall. Diagonal, a good reference point is 420 Mendocino, the housing project that's going up, where you can actually see a crane in downtown Santa Rosa now. So diagonal to the northwest of that, right across the street.
All right, this question is around the consortium. Anyone can take it, but it's just in general, what is the consortium's founding origins? And how does one participate? Is it open? Is it official? Is it an official group?
Okay, so I'll go in reverse order. Official group in the sense that we are real human beings who come together and meet. But it's not like a registered nonprofit or a formal organization in any kind of way. It's a group of organizational leaders that are engaged in various industries coming together to talk. The origins, my goodness, predate any of us. It was actually one of the first meetings that I went to, and Bob Anderson, if you remember Bob Anderson, invited me to that meeting. And goodness gracious.
I think that one of the things that I don't know the exact origin of the consortium, but I can share that it probably came out too when the Sonoma County Alliance was founded, right? Several organizations here at this table helped found the Sonoma County Alliance, and that coalesced around, if you don't know this story, it's pretty amazing, around Warm Springs Dam, right? And the first kind of environmental opponents came and didn't want that dam. And so I know that, I think Farm Bureau for sure, I know NCBE, I'm not sure how many organizations got together to form the alliance. So the piece has always been, what can we agree on? And I think my colleagues said it really, really well. I mean, there is really no one I can't sit at a table with and have a conversation. And that piece of the community, this community is too small for us to not all decide where we can agree and disagree. This black and white thing about not being able to come together in the middle somewhere has got to stop. There is no one I don't think we should be able to talk to and then decide where we come together or where we can't be together. And we are going to disagree. I mean, I have to tell you, I'll disagree with these three. I mean, when I was on city council, I served with my uncle, and that was ugly because I felt way more comfortable telling him stuff than other colleagues. But I'm telling you, there is a way for us to have bigger conversations, and we're all represent small business people, large business people, so there should always be a place for us and everyone in this room and all the rooms and events that we do.
I'll also say from information I've gleaned while meeting with Keith Woods and Brian Lynn, who sat on this group, 5 of the 7 are new to this group, and the people who have been in this group the longest, the only one left is John Bly, who's not here to really answer that question thoroughly, but I'm happy to follow up with more details on the history of the group. These are the leaders that we have serving today, and it's continuing to add new leaders. So they're the executive leadership of their group. It's a peer group. It's not its own organization, and they come together to share best practices and make sure that they have support. So that's the history that I have. All right, how can we support Measure J?
Don't support Measure J. Support no on Measure J. So, of course, we are in the throes right now of fundraising. The estimate for this effort started at about 1.7 million, and as we continue to go through our needs, I'm probably looking at more around 2 million. We are at about 30% of that right now. So, fundraising is in this vein is not a comfort zone of mine, but it's a reality. And, and if you can contribute to the campaign, I would encourage it, and we would all be grateful. The next best thing you can do is endorse our effort and tell your friends why they should not vote yes on, why they should vote no, on Measure J. And, to encourage them to ask questions and to call the people that can share why this is a horrible measure for Sonoma County. So contribute and endorse.
The last question on that card was around where they could find reports about the impacts of Measure J.
So it's actually on the Board of Supervisors website. I don't know the quick, and that's not my favorite website to go to. So, but some meaning it's not very. I don't follow it very well. Not that I don't like to go. Anyways, foot and mouth. It is posted on their website, and then also on our website on sonomafb.org under the No on Measure J. We've put all of those reports in there. There's a few podcasts in there that will be informative. There's some other articles and whatnot. So if you go to our website, you'll be able to kind of navigate and find all of that information.
Great. These are all membership organizations serving our community. If you are not a member already, please do go support them. They're doing incredible work you heard today. Thank all of you for being here as well. I want to make sure that we recognize our elected officials who joined us today. Sheriff Eddie Ingram, Silvio Lemos, Samantha Rodriguez, Rebecca Hermosillo, Mark Stapp, David Heagley, Ariel Kelly, Jeff Okrepke, Lisa Hinton, and Gerard Duverche. Thank you all for being here today. Our next program is September 4th. Please come here from SCA Rodriguez as we learn about what we need to be voting on. Just like we need to vote no on Measure J, there's other legislation coming up that's going to impact businesses, and she's going to talk about it with us here. So I hope to see you on the 4th. If you are not a member, please join our organization as well. We need to grow, we need to diversify, we need to make good decisions on behalf of our entire community, and it's going to take all the voices in this room to do that. So please join, please be a part of this community, be a part of these communities, and I will see you in September. Thank you so much. Oh, and Saturday, I forgot to. Thank you.